Sometimes when things are going to fail, it's very obvious. I remember a few years ago when NFTs were all the rage. Might have been like 5 years ago at this point. But there was a point where people were very high on NFTs. And I and a lot of people like me were just left scratching their heads about why this would be that popular. And that kind of spun off to the metaverse, where people were talking about buying and selling pieces of digital land, which again just made no sense if you thought about it for more than a couple seconds. But other times, there are things that you feel like you must just not get because everybody seems to be so high on them. And AI is a great example of that. I don't really see how it's going to change everything. Everything I see of AI is like, look at this video, it blows Hollywood away. But it's just like, I don't know, existing stuff, but worse. Like someone did a live action Naruto, but just did the first episode. And already live action, versions of anime are a little like, yeah, whatever, why would you do this? But doing live action that's not actually people making a show, it's just an AI drawing over an existing animation. It's just like, why would you want this? If anything, when stuff like that is adapted, it's only interesting because of the decisions of the people actually adapting it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see AI being as successful as some people are pushing it, but other people who were on my side before are not. And that brings us to this story over on PC Gamer, written by Andy Chalk. Unity boss, who once called out the idiocracy of the metaverse, now says his company's new AI tech will enable developers to prompt full casual games into existence with only natural language. Just a couple weeks after Google seemingly spooked game company investors with its AI world model, Project Genie, engine maker Unity says it's chasing the same digital dragon, and that AI-driven authoring will be one of its major focuses in 2026. At the Game Developer Conference in March, we'll be unveiling the beta of the new upgraded Unity AI, which will enable developers to prompt full casual games into existence with natural language only. Native to our platform, so it's simple to move from prototype to finished products, Unity CEO Matthew Broomberg said during Unity's Q4 financial results last week via Game Developer. Unity's new AI assistant will, quote, lower the barrier to entry, raise productivity for existing users, and democratize game development for non-coders. Broomberg said, our goal is to remove as much friction from the creative process as possible, becoming the universal bridge between the first spark of creativity and a successful, scalable, and enduring digital experience. Anything's possible, as my father used to say when I told him I wanted $1 million and a pony for my birthday, but likely I won't judge. This is the writer adding this. This is not the Unity person. That'd be funny. I won't judge, but I will cast my eyes over to Project Genie, which, as The Verge said, after some experimentation produced results much worse than an actual handcrafted video game or interactive experience. Broomberg specific reference to casual games is presumably meant to temper expectations, but it will also relies heavily on the presumption that casual games suck as a rule, which is simply false. I'm not even sure how casual games are being defined here except as a stand-in for games that suck, which I don't see as an especially strong selling point for Unity AI. Broomberg touched on Project Genie directly during the Q&A portion of the financial call, describing Google and Unity systems as complementary, not duplicative, and saying that the world's models are going to be a source of inspiration and assets for creators, but they are not in any way going to replace game engines. He also expressed some pretty big ambitions for Unity AI-powered future. There's going to be tens of millions of more people creating interactive entertainment driven by AI, making these tools more accessible to tens of millions more people. The statement sounds not too far off from comments made by Electronic Arts CEO Andrew Wilson in 2024. just after the bong rip hit. So, I don't know. I'm not convinced. I know that these, people who are really investing in it are putting it all on the line for AI, and they do need it to be successful, because if it's not, oh boy, it might be over. So, realistically, we'll just have to wait and see when it's revealed. But one of the things that I noticed when Gemini did their unveiling was like, the game couldn't really remember what it was making. So if you like left an area or turned away or fell off a map and came back, it would be a completely different place, which is not good. Persistence is a very important part of video games. And until AI can crack that, I don't think we can even really talk about this being, something worthwhile. So, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with me, or do you agree with the Unity CEO? He's undoubtedly much more successful than I am, but I feel like these are just big promises that can't be met. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, please subscribe. We have new videos coming out all the time here on the channel. And check out our other channels that include We Get Everything, where we cover video games in a video essay format, as well as our sports, and also our sports channel, where you get sports, where we cover, of course, sports news, and our podcasting channel, Better Radio. Again, thank you so much for checking this one out, and I will see you in the next one.